From the 13th to the 17th century in Europe, it was illegal to be an atheist. In fact, people were put to death for not believing in God. The penalty for such a crime depended on the severity of the offense. The Venetian-Genoese War was about control of key cities like Zara, ruled by Venice. Imagine being a medieval peasant called to a lord's court for jury duty, time off from the fields for your civic duty. But these families didn't get their wealth by making fair deals and playing the long game. These guys were the original mafia, making money through high-interest loans and threats. Even though everyone hated them, they kept thriving thanks to new accounting rules that made them accountable for their finances. However, this also made them a lot more secretive about how they acquired their wealth in the first place. But if you showed up to court without bringing your own food, that was seen as a very bad thing. Back in 1278, Adam de la More in Newcastle got fined for not bringing enough food for himself and the jury. His punishment was too fast until he brought food to the court the next day. In the summer of 1205, a Genoese fleet arrived in Zara to lay siege to the city. But the tides turned when a group of 240 knights known as the Venetian fleet arrived to help defend the city. They were led by the legendary warrior and future Doge of Venice, Enrico Dandolo. Together, they managed to defeat the Genoese and capture many of their ships. The flagship of the Genoese fleet was loaded with gold and silver. What a prize. Venice got richer, securing maritime dominance. In 1676, Jean Meslier was sentenced to be burned for denying God and the soul. You could actually end up in prison for a year just for criticizing a religion. During the early modern period, there was also a balding epidemic that affected both men and women. While the cause of this has never been fully understood, historians believe that rampant syphilis had something to do with it. Baldness was seen as a sign of the devil's work, and so those who suffered from it were often accused of witchcraft. To stop your hair from falling out, the barber would give you a hot oil treatment and pray to keep the devil away. Vlad, the Impaler, aka Dracula, might seem like a legend, but he was actually a real historical figure. And during his lifetime, he really did commit some pretty wacky crimes. He once dipped his bread in blood instead of vinegar, a big no-no for the church. Vlad just got back from the Ottoman Empire where he saw Muslims eating blood sausage. He wanted to try it for himself, but since he wasn't Muslim, he had to do it in a different way. This resulted in a very public display of what was seen as a blasphemous act. Between 1204 and 1206, Venice and Genoa went to war over control of the sea trade in the Mediterranean. During the Middle Ages, having a Plan B would ruin Plan A. In the 15th century, Italy had powerful merchant families like the Medici and Bardi.